Yay, good morning. Welcome to Yoga with Evie. Let's go ahead and get started on our yoga mats. Let's go ahead and take a seat and just take a moment to think of something that you're grateful for this morning or this afternoon or this evening, whenever you are practicing. Let's go ahead and take a big breath of air. On your inhale, think of all the blessings that you've received over the past day or week or month. And on your exhale, release gratitude. I'm very grateful to be sharing this yoga practice with you from my home. Thank you, YMCA York County Downtown Branch, for having this opportunity to reach out with Power Yoga. I hope you're able to find a couple things that you are grateful for. Something that we all can still be grateful for is the fact that we've got the sun shining, birds singing, bugs chirping. Maybe our pets are still alive, or a friend is nearby, someone we can call. Just little things we can be grateful for. Let's go ahead and get into child's pose. Go ahead and take in a deep breath of air and let that go. Take another deep breath of air. And let's continue with that stream of breath. Inhale and exhale. On your inhale, start to walk your hands to one side of the mat. On the exhale, press your hips and press your head down towards the mat. On that next inhale, walk your hands to the other side of your mat. And on the exhale, press your forehead and hips down to the floor. Taking a big inhale, come back to the center of your mat. And on that exhale, let your chest and forehead come a little bit closer to the mat. Pressing your hips down. Maybe you need to take your knees wider or shift a little bit in your hips. Start to roll side to side if that feels good. And then start to inhale your way up to a tabletop position. And let's go ahead and just stretch out from the shoulder sockets, upper back, reaching up to the sky, taking a big breath, twisting open, exhaling to release. Let's try that on the other side. Inhale, opening, exhale, release. And then start to move through your cat and cow poses. or circle through your hips, anything to start warming up the body, start moving the body. You could also turn your hands towards your knees. It can be a little intense in the wrist, but it's a really nice stretch. And then start to make your way into a downward dog. First downward dog of the practice. And let's pedal out the feet. Swoosh out the hips. Let's go ahead and take each foot up one at a time, opening up the hip. Feel free to bend your knees and pump your legs a little bit. Just waking up, and then walk up to your hands. Let's find ragdoll here. Bending from the hips, bending from the knees, finding that placement of the arms, maybe bringing your head between your biceps. And then take a moment of stillness, set an intention for your practice. And let that go. Roll up and stand. Let's reach up overhead. Take a big breath. Let's clasp the hands together and lean to the side. And to the other side a couple times. Reach back up. Oh, broaden the chest, press the hips forward, and then fold down over your legs. Halfway lift. And fold. Let's go ahead and roll back up to stand, reaching up overhead. Taking that full breath of air, clasp the hands again, and just lean gently side to side. Let's go twice on either side. And then make your way back into a forward fold. Take a halfway lift up. We're going to pause here in our halfway lift just to drop the chin down to the chest. Make sure you're not pressing on your knees, maybe finding shins or thigh muscles. And just work on loosening up your neck and head. Think about your hips pressing back. Maybe you want to put your hands on your hips. And then let's fold forward and step down into a high plank. Let's go ahead and push into downward dog. Hips float back. Take your right toes to the sky. Hug your knee up to your nose. Step up, drop the back knee, and let's reach up. Big stretch in the front of the hips this morning. Breathing in and breathing out. Breathing in and breathing out. Let's go ahead and press the hip back. Taking that hamstring stretch here. And come forward. Let's go ahead and switch our feet up, sending leading leg back, bringing the back foot forward, reaching up. Couple breaths here. And press back into your hamstring stretch. Nice long inhales and exhales. Let's go ahead and come forward again into tabletop. Kick your right foot back, reach your left hand forward. And let's go ahead, take a big inhale on the exhale, pull the knee and elbow together. Inhale, send it back out. Exhale, crunch together. Inhale, reach. Exhale, crunch. Inhale, reach. Exhale, crunch. Inhale, reach. Exhale, crunch. Inhale, reach, and then bend your knee and reach back for your foot. Nice. Stretch that out. We're going to do it on the other side, kicking the foot back, reaching forward with your fingers. Inhale and exhale, crunch. Inhale, reach. Exhale, crunch. Inhale, reach. Exhale, crunch. Inhale. And exhale. Inhale. And exhale. Inhale. And exhale, reach for your foot. Let's go ahead and take the knees wider than the mat and sink back into child's pose for about 5 breaths. And then start to press yourself up. Keep your knees exactly where they are. And I want you to focus on the shoulder blades. So let's pull apart the shoulder blades, pushing the back towards the back of the room, and then sinking the chest up, looking up, taking a big breath in. Let's go ahead and do that one more time. Opening up the shoulder blades. Inhale, opening up the chest. And make your way to downward facing dog. Let's bend knees and step or float up to our hands for chair pose. And let's bring the hands together. Find that twist. Magic little twist that works on digestion, works on circulation. Let's breathe in, open the arms. Exhale, twist a little deeper. Let's go one more breath in. And breath out, forward fold. Let's inhale, reach up overhead. And exhale into chair. And bring your hands to heart center again, twisting off to the left. And let's open the arms. And fold. Take a halfway lift. And fold. One more halfway lift. Forward fold. Step back or float back. High plank to low push-up. Upward facing dog. Take a big breath. Downward facing dog. Exhale. Sweep your right toes up. Draw the knee up to the nose. Find your warrior one. And take humble warrior. Let's plant hands. Lift the back foot. Go right away into a balance pose. So maybe airplane or warrior 3 or half moon. Just to try it out right away. And fold. Halfway lift. And fold. Step or float. Chaturanga. High plank to low push-up. Upward facing dog. Downward facing dog. That foot lifts up. Step into your warrior one. Humble warrior. Plant your hands, lift your back foot. Find your balance here. Think about those toes that are lifted, pointing down to the earth. Using that energy to stay balanced, bending your standing knee. Let's go ahead and take another deep breath. Exhale and fold. Halfway lift, breathe in. And exhale, fold. Inhale, root and rise. And exhale, fold. Halfway lift. Forward fold, step or float into your chaturanga. Nice. Pull out your feet here in downward dog. Take a couple deep breaths. Notice how you're feeling in your body. Scan from the toes all the way to the crown of your head. Let's go ahead and jump back up to the hands, taking king chair pose. So this time your feet are about 2 fist widths apart. Settle your hips back. Reach up and breathe. Inhale, lifting. Exhale, bringing hands to heart center. Inhale and exhale, twist. Let's try on bird of paradise this morning. Opening the arms. Take your top arm around your back. Slide your bottom arm around one leg, preferably the leg you're not twisting towards. Let's start to lift up. Make your way back down into a fold and just shake it out. Position your feet 2 fist widths apart and have a seat in your chair. We're going to try that bird on the other side. Happens, right? Woo.
Well, hopefully you didn't run into the wall this morning. Let's go ahead and clasp hands behind our backs. It happens, right? Gotta work on our balance. These things shouldn't surprise us because it's yoga practice, not yoga perfection. Stretch out the shoulders again. Drop your head and neck. Coming into that forward fold, releasing any tension here. Shake it out. And then move into your crow pose or your goddess squat. Anything, yogi's choice. We'll take a few moments to reset and play a little bit. So if you're in your goddess squat this morning, think about lifting up through the chest, pushing into all sides of your feet, maybe pushing your elbows to your knees or to the thighs. For those of you trying crow pose, maybe challenge yourself to stay in the posture for a little bit longer. Headstand is an option as well. So just take a few more moments in wherever you're at. Maybe just sitting and breathing, maybe taking a drink of water. Let's go ahead and continue to notice your breath, staying present in the moment. Pull me up in hero's pose. Resting, having a seat back on your feet, relaxing your shoulders. Feel free to close your eyes for just another couple breaths. Inhale and exhale. Inhale, exhale. Inhale, exhale. And then move up onto your knees. Take your hands behind you. Press your hips forward. Lift your chin for camel pose. Take that break when you need it. Coming back into hero's pose. Relaxing the shoulders. Relaxing your neck. Let's inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Going back up for camel. Releasing into hero's pose for 4 more breaths. Last time for camel. Once you've completed your resting breaths in hero's pose, meet me in downward facing dog. And then roll out to a high plank. And bring one hand to the center of your mat, opening to side plank. Go ahead and return to center. Chaturanga low push-up. Upward facing dog to downward facing dog. Again, rolling out to your high plank. Opening up to side plank. And coming back to your high push-up. Low push-up. Upward dog to downward facing dog. Pedal out your feet. Let's roll out to high plank. Pause in your high plank. So come down onto the forearms if you want a little bit more of a challenge. Drop your hips. Make some fists and start to roll forward and back. 3, 2, and 1. Push your hips back, dolphin pose. Feel free to set up a headstand if that's in your practice. And sink yourself back into a child's pose when you're complete. One more big breath in child's pose. And let that go. Let's make our way onto our backs. Go ahead and lay back, setting up for bridge, setting up for some core work. Gonna get some music rolling here to help us get through a little bit of core work. And let's lift up for bridge. Nice big gulps of air here. Let's go ahead and take 4 more deep breaths in bridge pose. Feel free to take it up to wheel. Let's go ahead and release, hug knees to chest, and then plant your feet, start to crunch. Find that pace that works for you. We're going for 5 more crunches. Last one. And then lift your hips back up into bridge pose. If you want a little more of a challenge, take 1 foot up off the floor. Maybe grabbing those hands behind your back. Press, lift, breathe. Let's bring it all the way back down. Hug your knees to chest, and then drop your knees off to the right and crunch for 10. 4, 3, 2, and 1. Nice work. Bring your feet back to the ground. Lift up, bridge or wheel. Come back to the mat. Hug your knees to chest. Drop your knees to the left. 10 crunches. And let's set up for our final bridge or wheel pose. Lifting up. Feel free to take a foot off the floor if you're in bridge. Two more deep breaths wherever you're at. Come on. And set it down. Nice work. Hug your knees to chest and rock. Let's go ahead and rock up into a boat pose. See if you can reach for your toes or your feet this morning. And let's play around a little bit. Plow pose, feet overhead. Shoulder stand. Death yogi. Let's rock forward again into high boat. Let's go ahead and roll again back and forth. Plow pose is there for you, or any other play posture here. Maybe happy baby would feel good. And when you're finished, come back onto your back. Take your legs at 90 degrees and press your palms into your thighs. Now push back into your palms so you're bracing your core. We're going to be here for 10 deep breaths. So allow yourself some work here. Feel that life force. And then slowly lower your feet. Shake your knees out side to side. Let your belly stretch out. Nice work. And then bring your feet up to a waterfall. Block your hands under your back. I'm going to pause here for 5 breaths. And then start to drop one leg down at a time. Let's keep the breath flowing here. Come back into your waterfall. Let's hang for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Bring your feet down to the mat. Feel free to take another bridge or wheel to stretch out your core. And hug your knees into your chest. Find happy baby. If you've already been here, just feel free to revisit. Let's go ahead and stretch out. Breathing in, breathing out. Let's go ahead and cross the ankles, grab your feet, and just gently pull them in towards your bottom, maybe rocking. Feel free to switch that up. Feels really good on the backs of the legs, low back. And rock and roll forward. We're going to set up for a half pigeon this morning. Setting up for a double pigeon this morning. So we're going to stack our legs, bringing one ankle over the knee and bringing the other knee over the ankle. Do the best you can. If there's a gap, that's okay. I want you to sit up nice and tall. Think about your sits bones connecting down to the mat, so moving that flesh aside. Nice tall posture as you're sitting. Find a place for your hands to rest and just sink down into this posture. Try to keep your posture tall, but at the same time finding a sense of ease and rest here. So let's go ahead and take some deep breaths. Let's go for 2 more breaths. And then bring your top leg up and bend that knee, bring your leg around. And do your best to look towards the top of your mat. And maybe you want to lean over that front leg. You don't have to go into a full pigeon. We're just getting a nice stretch here in the front of the hips and the front of the belly. If you want to go into that fullest expression, take your leg all the way back and sink down over your front leg. Let's go and take a couple more, let's say 3 more breaths here, and then we'll set up our double pigeon on the other side. All right, so the back leg is going to come around again, but this time it's going to be on the bottom of our stack, and that front leg is now going to be on the top of the stack. So allow yourself some time to set up your double pigeon, setting up tall, sits bones on the ground. Let's go ahead and breathe deeply here. And when you're ready, bring that top leg around, setting up how you will for your half pigeon. Let's take a few more breaths, maybe even pulling that leg up for a stack pigeon again. And when you're ready, slide your legs down, coming onto your belly. And let's set up for locust pose. And rest all the way down to the mat. We're going to set up for one floor bow as well here. When you're ready, grab back for your ankles, pressing your chin and chest forward. Up and forward. And release. Let's take those feet side to side. Bring your legs together. Take yourself into an upward facing dog and just quickly check side, forward, and back. And then move into your child's pose. And again, we're going to meet back up on our backs. Let's go ahead and hug knees to chest and twist off to the right. Hugging knees back to chest, twisting to the left. Allow yourself just to sink in here. Let's go ahead back to center, hug the knees in, bring the soles of your feet together and let your legs rest down onto the mat. So this is our final hip opener for the practice. If you've got a bolster or a pillow, feel free to lay on that as well. Go ahead and sit up for your final Supta Baddha Konasana. Allow yourself to become centered, placing a hand on your stomach and a hand to your heart. Press your feet and your toes together. Take a deep breath in through the nose. Exhale from your mouth. And just start to take a few more breaths here, noticing this final posture of the practice. And before we make our way into Savasana, I wanted to welcome you to take any final stretches that you like in your yoga practice. Begin to allow your face and arms and legs to soften. Perhaps you want to stretch out your arms and legs on the mat. It might feel good to wiggle your toes and fingers. Let's take a deep breath. Take another deep breath. Give yourself permission to rest. You're welcome to join me in seated or continue to lay out in your Savasana corpse pose. I'm just going to take a moment to lead us into a short meditation. Let's go ahead and take a couple deep breaths. So, wherever you are, just tune in for a moment, continuing to rest in stillness, either on your back or seated or on your side. August 26th, open to universal love. Are you living with the belief that universal love isn't there for you? When we look at what we've been through, sometimes we feel sad and abandoned. We see others dancing along their path, getting blessings, special help, gifts along the way. Then we turn to our own lives and see only those times we've been let down and left out, the times that people, life, and the world haven't been there for us. Universal love may be real, you say, but it's not real for me. Open your eyes, open your heart, open yourself to the universe. Begin to see and notice all the gifts you're given, the clues, the direction, the support. Stop looking to one person or source and let life's magic dance for you. See how you get what you need. See how naturally the guidance comes when you trust that it will be there. See the smiles, see the friendship, feel the inspiration. Feel the loving touch of a hand on your arm. Say what you need. Say it aloud. Direct your words to the universe. Treat it as if you were a loving friend, and it will treat you the same way. Universal love is there for you. Learn to recognize its touch and rhythm, for it is the rhythm of life and love. Let's go ahead and take another deep breath. And just take a moment to meditate on those words from our reading this morning. Perhaps you are open to universal love. Perhaps you are open to God's love. And perhaps you just haven't taken time to really see the blessings and abundance around you. So, my hope and prayer is that you will start to see those things and that your vision will shift so you can see that abundance around you. Let's go ahead and take a few more moments, a few more easy breaths in meditation. Just start to notice how you feel in your body. If you find yourself drifting from thought in your meditation, that's okay. If you need a little direction, come back thinking about what love and life look like for you. Does it look like traveling to a special place or maybe visiting some special people, perhaps making or creating a delicious meal? It could also be things like volunteering, helping those that you see who are in need, being that vessel of universal love for those around you, being open. And not just being open to anything, but being open to God's plan for your life. Who can you inspire today? Maybe just even inspiring yourself by being open to God's plan. Let's go ahead and take a big breath of air. And releasing all that we've just encountered. Go ahead and reach up overhead, fluttering the eyes open, taking another deep breath of air, and sealing our practice with hands at heart center. We'll close with 3 ohms. Take a deep breath. Cross your thumb knuckles to your heart center. May you be open to universal love, to God's plan for your life. Thank you for sharing your time with me. May you go in peace and abundance. Namaste. If you have any questions or just want to reach out to me personally, feel free to find me on Facebook. My name is Evelyn Price, and we can discuss more of these things. Thank you for sharing your time with me today, and thank you, YMCA, for having this opportunity to teach via YouTube. I hope you have an awesome day. Take care, and God bless.